Hello everyone, this is Kajendra from Digital Library Pharma. Welcome to another episode on analytical method validation. In this episode, we will discuss on robustness parameter by applying the one factor at a time approach. One factor at a time approach is a very popular and traditional approach. The most of the pharma industries applying this approach when evaluating the robustness studies. Before jumping into the robustness discussion, let's recap the definition of the robustness. The robustness of analytical procedure is a measure of its capacity to remain unaffected by small and deliberate variations in the method parameters. It provides an indication of its reliability during the routine use. In OAFT, that is one factor at a time approach, we will vary one factor at a time by keeping all other parameters constants. The acceptance criteria for successful evaluation of robustness parameter is, for test results, the percentage relative difference from target condition should be less than the acceptable analytical variation of particular analytic technique. Along with test results, we need to evaluate the system suitability results also. They should meet predefined acceptance criteria. In case of chromatographic methods, the pattern should match with the target conditions. In case of residual solvents and rated substance methods, all the peaks should separate from each other and their relative retention times should be in line with the target conditions. So we discussed on the definitions. Let's evaluate the robustness for the following analytical method. So this is the analytical method for our XYZ film coated tablets for determination of SA and RS. It is by HPLC. I showed this method in episode 2. In episode 2, we identified the critical method parameters for our test method by applying Ishikawa. These are the critical method parameters. In episode 3, we discussed on extraction time. In the next episode, we discussed on the temperature and light effect. So current episode, we are discussing on the remaining parameters by applying the OAFT approach. In the next episode, we will discuss the same by applying the DOE, that is design of experiments. So let's start. So let's start with the column variation. In column variation, we need to evaluate by using the 3 columns. So 2 columns, they are brand new, but they are with a different lot number. The important one is the third column. Third column should be the world, that is used column, with a minimum 1000 to 2000 injections. The number of injections is your choice. My recommendation to use the column which is used for about 2000 to 4000 injections. So it will give the actual picture of the how method works in the older columns. In case of generic industry, you can select one column which is used during your development and excipient compatibility studies and other development analysis. In case of NCE, you can select one column which is already used in our LE phase. The proper evaluation of the column variation in robustness will avoid the unnecessary laboratory investigations and invalid OAS results due to the poor column performance in the routine use of the method. We can combine this column variation along with the intermediate precision also. How to perform the experiment. So prepare the standard sample solution and perform the experiment by using the all 3 columns separately. So use the same sample and standard solution for all 3 experiments and evaluate the system suitability parameters and compare the results with each other and calculate the percentage relative difference of test results from the initial one, that is column 1. So let us see one example for a set of results obtained during the column variation robustness parameter. This is the set of results. So in all 3 columns, our results are meeting the acceptance criteria. This is the test results. By performing the column variation, we can avoid the investigations which are occurring during routine use due to the poor column performance. So after column variation, move to the flow rate. So as per our test method, the flow rate is the 0.5 ml per minute. So to evaluate the flow rate evaluation, we need to select the upper range and lower range. So it is about 20%. So upper range 20%, that means flow rate of 0.6 ml per minute. Lower range also 20%, that means it is 0.4 ml per minute. So we have three different flow rates. So you need to perform the experiments with these flow rates. So how to do it? So perform the experiment by preparing the standard and sample solution with the flow rate 0.4, 0.5 and 0.6. Evaluate the system suitability results and compare the result with each other. Then calculate the percentage relative difference of test result with the target conditions. So this is the one example of the result. So we got this results. The results are meeting the acceptance criteria. This is the result. In all three conditions, results are meeting the specification limit. So let us see the other side also. In FlowPlus, the resolution is not meeting the acceptance criteria. So what to do now? So you need to perform the experiment by modifying the flow rate plus value. That is, previously you did with the 0.6 where you got the resolution less than the acceptance criteria. So modify it to 0.55, that is a 10%, and perform the experiment. So as a control strategy, update your test method by providing the precautionary note on the sensitivity of the resolution towards the higher flow rates. After flow rate, let's move to the wavelength variation. This is our wavelength, that is 252. Again, you need to select the upper range and lower range. In this case, it is a 2 nanometers. That means wavelength of 254 in the higher range. 2 nanometer lower range means 250 nanometer in the lower range. So we have three different wavelengths. So in experiment part, we need to perform the experiments in all three wavelengths. So again, you need to evaluate the system suitability results and calculate the percentage relative difference of test results against the target conditions. Here target condition is the 252 nanometer. So how to do it? See this example. This is the set of results where all the results are met with the acceptance criteria. Here under percentage relative difference also meeting with the acceptance criteria. Let's see another side also. Okay, in this case at 254 nanometer the SA is lower when compared to the target conditions. Whenever you found any failure or any result which is not meeting the acceptance criteria, we need to modify the particular experiment. So here to perform the experiment again at 253 nanometer. So as a control strategy, we need to update a test method by providing the precautionary note on the sensitivity of the test results towards the higher wavelength. Move to the column oven temperature. So as per our test method, it is a 40 plus 5 degrees, that is 45. Similarly in the lower range, minus 5 degrees, that is 35 degrees. So perform the experiment in a similar manner. How you doing for other parameters? Then evaluate the system suitability result, test results, calculate the percentage relative difference. If all results are meeting the acceptance criteria, that means your method is robust between 35 to 45 degrees, column oven temperature, and check the results. If everything is okay, your method is robust. If something is not okay, for example, same time the results are not meeting the acceptance criteria, you need to modify the column open temperature minus value. So we need to perform the experiment, and as a control strategy we need to provide a note in the test method, so which range your method is robust, and also it's a sensitivity towards the lower column temperature. In this case, sensitivity of the method and tiling factor towards the lower temperature. You need to put a note that the method works only at temperatures of 38 to 45. Let's move to the pH buffer variation. So pH buffer variation in our test method is 3.5. So you need to select the one upper range, one lower range. So upper plus 0.2. How much? It is a 3.7. Lower range minus 0.2. That is pH 3.3. So for experiment, we need to perform the experiment by using the all three buffers. Remember, when you evaluating the robustness, use the same solution in all three experiments. So again, evaluate the system suitability results, compare each other, and calculate the percentage relative difference for test results. This is the example for pH buffer variation. This is the example for result which are meeting the acceptance criteria. These for test results. So if any result is not meeting the acceptance criteria, here pH plus, the resolution is less, so it is not meeting the acceptance criteria. So we need to perform the experiment again by modifying the pH of the buffer plus value. Here in case, instead of 3.7, you need to perform the experiment at 3.6. So as a control strategy, we need to update our test method by providing the precautionary note on sensitivity of the method towards the higher pH. The same case with the mobile phase composition. Here is the example of our method, buffer and acetonitrylene 50:50. So here I am taking the 10% up for the organic phase. That means buffer is to ACN in 40:60. In the lower case, again 10% of the organic phase. That means buffer is to acetonitrile in 60:40. So perform the experiment, evaluate the system suitability and test results. Check if all the results are meeting the acceptance criteria, then your method is robust between the range of 60 to 40 and 40 to 60. If results are not meeting the acceptance criteria, modify it. In this case, you need to modify the mobile phase composition minus, perform the experiment. Same need to be updated in the test method as a control strategy. In this case, you need to update the test method by providing the precaution note about the sensitivity of the method and resolution towards the organic phase. So this is about the evaluation of the robustness. Similarly, you can evaluate the all other parameters also. The addition of the trith element in the mobile phase, the dual volume of the system. In the case of particle size analyzer by Malvan, you can change the stirrer speed and sonication time, obstruction range. In case of dissolution, evaluate the variation of RPM and the temperature. So it's depend upon your particular test method. First, you identify the critical method parameters which will impact your test results. After identifying them, so define a range, one lower and upper, and perform the experiment, compare it. Based on the outcome of the results, just you can provide the note in our test method which range your method is robust So this is all about the robustness parameter. In this episode, we discussed the evaluation of the robustness parameter by applying the OEFT approach. In the next episode, we will discuss by applying the design of experiments, that is by applying the QBD principles. So we will conclude robustness parameter in the next episode. Then the episode 7 will be on the linearity. This is the upcoming episodes in this YouTube channel. I hope you liked my video. If you like my video, wait for my next video. Until then, have a good time. Bye.